Hey there. So there's some people who have wanted some directions on how to handle dark spirits. Because in these days, there seems to be a lot more of that kind of energy around. A lot more dark spirits. You wouldn't be able to tell with my doggies playing in the field there, though. It's kind of happy here. We keep it happy. Anyway, and then there's the other one, Shanti, all the way up there. All three of them are here. You'll see Shanti laying in the grass up there. That's Yogi, Bodhi, and Shanti. And you'll see. Anyway, so the dark spirits. Okay, so the first thing to do is you stand your ground and you stay fearless. And you say, I am too aware to play a game of fear with you. It's really that simple. And first thing that's going to happen when you do this, when you meet this spirit, you and I did this in the astral travels and whenever the dark spirits have been around, if they come to ceremonies or if they come, hi Shanti, hello, hello, little Dargy Darshan, yes, you're such a sweetie girl. Some of you guys might remember Shanti. Yeah, my Shanti girl, yeah, Shanti girl, yeah, you're such a good girl. She's such a good guardian too, yeah, she is. And these two, those are a bunch of couple of goofballs working, Yogi and Bodhi. They know I'm talking about them. Okay, dark spirits. Okay, okay. This was meant to be a serious video, but my dogs just seem to want to be part of this video today. They're romping all over the place playing. You know, that brings up a good point. One of the easiest ways to chase away dark energy, to chase away a dark feeling, a dark spirit, a dark whatever, is laughter and humor and just keeping a light spirit. So when you meet these dark spirits, keep a light spirit because actually you're there to help them. Think of yourself more as a helper. Whenever you see a dark spirit or become aware of a dark spirit or a dark spirit tries to bother you, because they just want to see if they can. Whenever a dark spirit tries to do that, you keep a lightness of being and you say, I'm too aware to play a game of fear with you, and I am here to help you actually. If you'd like, would you like to end this and go home? Would you like to go back to the source? Would you like to go back to the light and the love? Would you like to go back to this God self, this divine spirit that you really are? And because you can end this misery, this consciousness loop that you've gotten on. If you say this to a spirit, you're going to confuse the heck out of them right away. First of all, they're going to be like, what? Hey, you're not playing the game of fear, right? you're supposed to be all scared and stuff, and or get all depressed and stuff, like I'm trying to help, or get all angry, because there's like depression spirits, there's anger spirits, there's suicide spirits, there's loneliness spirits, there's fear spirits. Man, the different ones drink different energy. It's sort of like they have a straw and they're just like drinking the energy off you. So it's kind of gross if you really think of it. It's definitely an energy vampire kind of thing. So when you have this dark spirit bothering you or trying to get, or has your attention somehow, or you become aware of it, then you have to think that you have to realize that the reason you're being given this vision or given this opportunity to work with the spirit is because you can help it. It knows you are aware of it and that you can see it. That's why it's asking you for help, really. That's what it's really doing. Maybe not at a conscious level, but at an unconscious level, it wants help. And your job is just to get them to say, yes, I want to end this. And what's going to happen is, for a certain percentage of them are going to say, yes, I really do want to end this. Do you know how to help me? I'm really surprised. No one's ever asked me before. How do you get me back to happiness and love? And how do I get back there? I'm so stuck here. It's like being caught on an electric current. Like you can't let go unless someone comes and pushes you off. So in a way, you are the person pushing them off off the current when you come across a dark spirit who's caught in this loop that it's constantly doing and it's gotten stuck there. And consciousness is very electric, so and very magnetic, so this is why it gets caught in these loops, so to speak. So when you say to them, do you want to go home? Do you want to end this? Some of them are going to be like, hey, you're not playing right, so all right, fine, I'll leave and go find somebody else to play with because you're not playing right. You're not playing the game of fear right. And when that happens, just, send them love and try to kind of think of it as planting a seed. You've planted a seed that now they realize that the option to go home is there, whereas many of them might not have realized that because they put themselves in hell at the end of the lifetime and they created the hell themselves. They put themselves in hell because they thought that they were a bad person or they lived a bad lifetime, and in some cases they were a really bad person or did some really bad deeds, and they are definitely in hell because they put themselves there. No one's in hell ever unless they put themselves there, just so you know. Hell is not a place you get sentenced to, it's a place you put yourself. You are your own judge and jailer, so to speak, in the spirit worlds. Because the God in you is watching and it knows everything, and also until you've learned to make reparations for or learned to change your ways, then you're going to feel guilty just because you are guilty of some bad stuff. Anyway, so a lot of these spirits have gotten themselves in that predicament, and they've been there too long. They've been there so long that they don't know how to get out of that predicament now. So this is why you're there to help them. The newer ones are usually the ones who are going to say, no, I don't want to go home, and I'm going to just go find someone else to play with. The ones who haven't been in hell so long. The ones who have been in there too long, they are going to say yes. When I started doing this 15 years ago, 18 years ago, it was 1998, 5, somewhere in there. And about maybe only 25% of them would say, yes, I want to go home. And the other 75% wanted to keep doing the dastardly deeds and trying to influence humans to have all these negative emotions or even do bad things. Whenever there's a murder involved or there's a suicide involved, there's always a dark spirit involved as well. Same thing with rape. There's always a dark spirit involved, especially a violent one. So the 75% that didn't want to go home, they would just kind of be like, okay, you're not playing right, and they would just leave. So you don't have to have fear anything from these ones because they can't hurt you unless you allow them to hurt you. It literally is that way. They cannot do anything that you do not allow. And the way to allow it and the doorway for them to do anything is fear. So therefore, don't open that door. You don't have to be the victim. You are the powerful one who is here to help them. You are actually here to help. You are actually the one who can guide them. You are the one who can interrupt the consciousness loop, interrupt the program, so to speak. So think of yourself more as a helper when you come across dark spirits rather than a victim and you have to worry and try and struggle to protect yourself. Your greatest protection is light and love. Your greatest protection is the fact that you're an angel wanting to help them. That's your protection. They can't really hurt you there. That is just, it's one of the highest vibrations you can be in, is a person who's in compassion and wants to help another person. That's one of the highest vibrations you can hold. And darkness really can't even touch it. If they don't want to change or heal, then they're going to run away. They just can't be around it. So really, the dark spirits need protection from me, That's the way I see it. If they don't want to change, if they don't want to heal, if they don't want to go home, if they don't want to stop doing what they're doing, they need protection from me. How about you? They need protection from you. If they are, if they don't want to change or heal. So this is the way to handle dark spirits. And when they don't choose yes, I always try to plant the seed. I just kind of say, hey, just so you know, you don't have to be a demon anymore. You don't have to be a dark spirit anymore. You can actually have another life. And when you're ready, ask. Just ask, and the angels will come and take you home. And that's what happens. Once they say yes, if there's one that says yes, then a legion of angels comes in and takes them home. You can't take them home, and it's such a oh gosh, it's so beautiful to see. It's so beautiful. And it's like this beautiful, they turn into this beautiful divine being again, and they go home and they evaluate their experiences, and they decide what is next on their path and of learning, because this is God dreaming and learning. And even the dark spirits are God, but these are little pieces of God that kind of got stuck. They got stuck along the way, got lost, and they're really just hurt children. These beings that could be all big and scary, these are actually really injured children, really seriously injured children who weren't able to. Oh, is that a dog tail? Hey, that's Yogi. I'm like, hey, there's a dog tail in the grass there. What are you doing over there? What are you doing over there, buddy? Yeah, you're such a good boy. Yogi's such a good egg. Anybody who's been to Gaia Sagrada might remember Yogi. He's not really a dog. He's an angel pretending to be a dog, right? Although this one likes the bread a lot too. You'll get the paw, you'll get the look. I've never eaten a day in my life. Please feed me. And you can tell he's well fed. So you can't take the beings home. Back to dark spirits here. You can't take them home because they are. Well, Yogi's one of those guys who likes these conversations. He kind of handles dark spirits at the ceremonies once in a while. When there's a dark spirit that shows up to those, he'll literally help it, and he actually knows how to go around and comfort people at the ceremonies too. He knows who to check in with. It's really cute. Yeah, I'm talking about you. He's like, you talking about me? Yeah, I'm talking about you. You talking about me? So you can't take these dark spirits home. You have to, right, Yogi? You can't take these dark spirits home. You have to let the angels do that, because otherwise you have to give up the body if you take them all the way home. So you can't take these dark spirits all the way home. All you can do is get them to say yes, and that's the only part of your job to do. You don't have to do anything else. Now, here's one thing that can happen when they don't want to take you up on your offer. What they might do is get bigger and scarier. Yeah, now Yogi's going to sit down and relax, and let's say he shows up at these conversations about dark spirits. It's really interesting because I think he's a spirit fighter. Anyway, or a spirit lover, shall we say. Anyway, so when you have one that says, no, I don't want to go home. In fact, why aren't you scared? Try this. And they get bigger and scary. Rawr. And they're like, what? You're not scared of that? And you're like, come on. Let's be authentic here. I know really that you're injured. And you're not scaring me. I know it's all an illusion. And that you're really injured. And I'm here to help. And every once in a while, one of those ones will actually break down and kind of start crying and be like, God, you know how to get me home, please. I would love to stop being in this space. And so that can happen, but usually not. They're usually going to move on to another victim. But if you are firm, you've actually planted the seed. That's what's important, is that the seed got planted. All right, well, let's see. Did I miss anything with the dark spirit thing? Protection. Don't put yourself in a box, a cage. Like, okay, I'm in a cage and nothing can come in. That's actually not your protection. that can actually be gotten through. What protection is that you're such a beaming light, such a bright light that anything that's darkness just can't actually be dark around you. It just can't, darkness can't exist when there's a lot of light, a lot of love. So, man, there's been times when I've just walked through a teeming field of dark spirits, and I just turned on the light. You know, it was just like turning on the light, turned on the love, and just blessed them all, and they just ran away. They were all like, get that light love stuff away from me. So, yeah, because there was one time it was a specific ceremony where we were dealing with someone who had a really dark past, and there was literally a lot of dark entities around this person. And this person didn't even know it, but they were always angry, always violent, feeling violent, even though they weren't always acting on it, but they were like right on the edge all the time. And this person needed a lot of help with some extractions, shall we say. I've done a lot of exorcisms, actually. So what I'm telling you is for real, and what I'm telling you is from a professional's point of view. I am kind of a professional dark spirit converter, shall we say. I think of it as converting them, or shall we say, really it's more of an invitation. It's not an effortful thing. It's an invitation, and you let it be their choice. You have to honor free will. You can't override their will and say, I'm sending you back to the light whether you want to go there or not. That's not free will, because that's not going to last. They're going to miss they're not going to end up there. It has to be their choice. You have to honor free will for the remedy to stick. It has to be their choice for it to stick. Because you could try to think that you're forcing them into the light, or try to force them into whatever, but if they're not choosing it, you aren't actually solving the problem, because it's all about this whole dark and light thing is all about free will choice and making good choices that have good effects. That's the whole lesson of the whole thing is, okay, if I make bad choices, if I choose darkness, if I choose yucky stuff, if I choose negative stuff, the negative stuff returns. This is the result of negative actions. This is the land of cause and effect. So this is all about cause and effect, and the dimensions right around this world are also in this same lesson of duality, cause and effect. So don't override someone's lesson, because otherwise their soul has to set it all up again. And they actually get angry with you for interrupting their lesson. And then the soul's like, oh, God, now I got to set it all up again. And they get really irritated with you. So now I'll talk about that in another video, about how people you're helping turn on you sometimes if you're helping too much, shall we say. It's a fine line, but I'll make another video about that. But this one, where these spirits, it's got to be their free will choice, or it's not going to work. You have to make your invitation really juicy. So that's what you got to get creative about, is how to make your invitation so juicy they can't resist you. They can't resist wanting to go home. Like, oh gosh, yeah, that sounds like really nice to be loved again. It sounds really nice to be around love again. It sounds really nice to be around light. And you could even maybe tell them a joke and see if you can make them laugh, and say, see how that feels? Sometimes it's a full-on conversation with these spirits. Sometimes it's all telepathic and there's no conversation whatsoever. Every individual is an individual, and every single time it's a different kind of invitation, shall we say. Anyway, so I wanted to give you those instructions. I think I covered it all. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I always answer comments. I answer the first one. I only get to see the first one. I don't see when you respond to the first one. So if you want to make me see the next one, it's just the way the program with YouTube works. Or Facebook, I see the second one sometimes, not all the time. Um, but if you wanted to get another, to carry on the conversation, maybe make another comment, and then I'll see it if it's the first one of a comment toward whatever. I hope that makes sense. But I'm always here to converse and help you guys learn how to do this stuff, because you guys are the leaders. You guys are the angels in the flesh. You're the ground crew. You are the ones who are here to make a difference in this world and help people get through the shift. And the gates are wide open right now, and there are a lot of dark spirits coming through, and it's all because this is the big cleanup. This is the Great Awakening. This is the time when those dark spirits are going to be dealt with, and we need people like you who know what to do with them, because so many people are being tormented by a dark spirit, or they don't know that they're being tormented by a dark spirit, and they're ending up in depression, suicide, maybe even homicide, or they're being they're light workers, and they're losing all the wind out of their sails. Those are dark spirits too, that keep you from doing your work, that keep you from being the divine self that you are. So you have to only let spirits that are pleasant, happy, have supportive words for you, only let those ones ever be around. If you're feeling depressed, make sure that it's only yours and it's not amplified by a dark spirit that somehow gets energy from that, like an energy vampire. So there you go, 007 Secret Agent of Love. You have your mission, should you choose to accept it. And this message will not self-destruct in 5 seconds. It will last forever. And you have a chance to take up this mission anytime you want. So be the light, be the love, be the helper spirit for these ones that are really dark. And you could even apply this to dealing with dark humans at times, who they might not be quite as receptive to kindness, and sometimes they will try to take advantage of that. So will dark spirits. Don't be tricked. Sometimes the dark spirit's like, ooh, okay, I'll pretend I'm going to go along with your invitation and your request, and then they're going to try to sneak in what they want in a different way. Your heart will know. If you're wondering, how do I know if the spirit is not tricking me? Your heart knows. Don't use your mind. Use your heart. Your heart will know if there's something off. And your heart will know if that spirit has taken you up on your offer. So relax. Don't worry about it. Here's the last thing I would put to pass on to you with this dark spirit work. Call for help if you ever get in over your head. Sometimes you can get in over your head. It's happened to me. And call for help. Call for the other guides. Call for the light. Call for the love. The name Jesus Christ. I've often called on Jesus when it's just a spirit I can't handle, or a spirit that's just not taking no for an answer, or a spirit that is trying to harm others and I can't stop it. That's my last resort, is I call on Jesus Christ. In the name of Christ, in the name of Jesus Christ, and then fill in the blank of whatever you need to happen. I have a relationship with Jesus Christ. I am a Christian, but not in your traditional sense of the way. I actually have a very personal relation with Christ. I work together with Christ. The Christ energy, Christ means the anointed one. The Christ energy was not just some guy. The Christ energy is this, shall we say, frequency. And it helps for us humans to put the image of Christ into a guy. Even I have used that as a crutch sometimes to tune into this energy. And if that's if that helps, then do that. But for me, Christ energy is a vibration. Jesus Christ was a representation of what you can look like as a human if you hold this vibration. And my name is Christine, so that means that it means the heart of Christ. And so I feel like it's really important that I have been connected to that. I'll make another video about that and how I see all that. But I just wanted to let you know, If you ever get in really deep trouble, first call in some guides and say, hey, I could use some guidance here, I could use some help here, and they come right in. They come right in. Unless you're being tested and you're at the level that they know that you can handle it, but you're wimping out or you're chickening out or whatever. But know that they're there. They're standing there and they're going to make sure that nothing bad happens to you. Which really it can't. Not in the spirit world. It really can't. You actually have a lot more power because you actually have a physical body. You have a physical, 1 foot in the physical world and 1 foot in the spiritual world. If this is the case, you are the one in power. You're the powerful one. Because it's sort of like a double whammy, like 2 swords instead of 1, shall we say. 2 swords of truth instead of 1. So, if you get in trouble, though, that's another point. I should write a book about this. Or make a course. How to handle dark spirits. And this is for schizophrenic people, too. Schizophrenic people actually have a foot in both worlds. Or people with psychosis who can hear the spirit beings. They actually are hearing the spirit beings. And those spirit beings are taking advantage of the fact that they can be predators with these people because those people don't know how to handle this spiritual skill. It's a spiritual power to be able to perceive the spirit world and actually influence the spirit world. You're the influencer on the spirit world instead of the other way around in this case. But if you ever get in real trouble, ask for help and it comes. And you're going to be in training for a while. And so don't be surprised if you see more spirits after the first one. After the first one that you've seen or the first one that you've experienced or knew that what felt was there and you handled it and you helped it. After that first one, don't be surprised if more come because there's a lot of spirit beings that are actually looking for help. And some they're even sending to you the angels, the guides, the forces, the powers, I don't know exactly what, sends them to you because they know you can help it and that you have the skills. So don't be surprised if you basically become an exorcist in the spirit world. I mean, I'm kind of an exorcist, and I actually kind of like it. I kind of actually think dark spirits are. It's kind of fun to rescue dark spirits. It feels like a hero's journey. It feels like I mean, I feel like I'm in a movie sometimes, that I'm actually helping these dark spirits cross back. A lot of them, I help a lot because I'm good at it and I have no fear, and I don't know, for some reason they listen to me. So, anyway, I wanted to pass this on to you so that you have the chance to deal with this in a different way if you're a person who has experienced encounters with dark spirits or seem to have a tendency to attract them to help. So, alright, 007 Secret Agent of Love, over and out.